knocked away. Heck of a defensive play by Eric Morales of Yorktown. And up ahead, fast break, score! The Huskers had the fast break set up beautifully, and Connor Verjus fires it home.
Time and space for number 43 is a recipe for disaster when you're trying to defend Veracruz. Don't give him that time or space.
And you mentioned time and space. 48 hours earlier, he had no space, and he really couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Nor could his Yorktown teammates against Ridgefield. So it's a big Yorktown week, and all of a sudden, I am jacked up about the Tuskers. And
Blue Genovese's boys.
Our buddy Geneve causing trouble again. Because he texted me last week saying, would you tell Cavallo to stop going on and on about Yorktown? And what does he say to you today when you talk to him? He's killing me?
Thank God you're carrying quick. He's a disaster.
You sound like him. Later on in the show.
He's got a big week.
Oh, he does?
He has a very easy week and then a big week because he doesn't play until Saturday.
See, but I think it makes it tougher.
Yes.
Because when you go and play against your alma mater and you have nothing leading up to it, that makes it a very tough week. Because you know this. When you think, thinking is the worst thing that you can do.
They're going to get a lot of Genevieve this week.
A lot of them. And I'm going to tell you right now, later in this show, you're going to see one of the all-time great haircuts.
Yes. And listen, he's done a great job because with his duties, with that wonderful show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, he has all this time to still coach lacrosse. I love that show, all those great recipes from around the country.
What's the place when you go to Yorktown you like to go eat at? Isn't there a place in Yorktown?
Oh, I forget. Down at the bottom
It's right
of the
on
hill.
the corner before you take the right.
Yeah.
And then in Lincolndale, I'm going to tell you this right now. And I stood with Genevieve. I love this guy. Remember, he's Mr. 4000. He was our 4,000th follower.
Yes.
And I love going to watch DiMattio's Somers football teams play because I'll stand with him during the game.
Yes.
He makes me laugh. He's into it. The kids
Lincolndale,
are
New
lucky.
York.
And on your GPS.
Somers High School.
Yeah, there's no such thing as
Som-
Lincolndale, New York, and a GPS.
Right.
You just drive around.
It's one of those GPS nightmare locations.
And then you type in crazy hair, and all of a sudden, boom, you're right there. And Genevieve's waiting for you in the parking lot.
They're hot, baby.
I love him.
5 in a row.
I
Five in a
love
row.
him.
He was funny because I go, hey, coach, you're hot. 5 in a row. What's been the difference? He goes, well, it ain't coaching.
He's so funny. Hey, you know who the two hottest teams in Section 1 are right now?
Who would that be?
Somers,
number 1, 5 in a row.
I'll give you 20 seconds to guess the other team if you just base it on wins in a row. I did some research today. I was into today's Hudson Valley
I don't
show.
even know.
Ossining.
How
about that?
The Pride.
And we're going to talk about them later in the show too.
But Dan Rickey doesn't coach the Ossining boys, right?
Coaches the girls.
Yeah.
Coaches the girls. Jim, I went on and on. Mr. Lax was going crazy in his pick segment last week, which, by the way, means absolutely nothing, as you will see on
Down goes Frazier.
Yeah, you will see on Thursday. Mr. Lax is he's about to retire. I went on and on about the Yorktown Ridgefield game. That if Yorktown scored 8 goals, they'd win the game.
Yeah.
But if Ridgefield held them and they couldn't get 8, they wouldn't win. They had their lowest total of the year. This is a team that's averaging like 13 goals per game.
Yeah.
Held them to 4 goals, Ridgefield, and that unbelievable defense. Let's go up to Tiger Hollow.
Yeah.
Take a look where all the boys were there. Clark, Paul, Brian, everybody.
Beautiful night at Ridgefield when Skylar Blair gets this from Chad Chris, the hockey stars. 1-0 Ridgefield. Ryan Dunn. It's been a big night for Dunn. The coaches would call it, Mike, his coming out party.
What about Philbin, though?
Makes it 2-0.
Guy.
He came out weeks ago as one of the top guys in the Tri-State. And then Dunn again. It was 2-1. This makes it 3-1.
But it wasn't done.
And
It wasn't over.
That's right. There was plenty left. And then Matty Gonzalez bounces it home, makes it a 1-goal lead. And then the aforementioned number 43, the Rutgers bounder, Connor Veracruz. You know when Nicky B finds him, overhand right. The game was tied at 3. Good ball game here. Third quarter, Ryan Dunn. Got a hat trick on this night. Dunny in tight, makes it 4-3. Ridgefield, the defense was suffocating.
My man Austin Graham was right. He was in the crease.
Yes, you're right. Simon Matthias, then the University of Pennsylvania bound junior, makes it 5-3. And then watch Dylan Ma step into this one. Oh, doctor! The southpaw, the Dickinson bound Dylan Marr with a crank. makes it 6-4. It finishes at 7-4. So a little New York versus Connecticut. Again, advantage Connecticut on this night. We've seen Darien beat Niskayuna for their only loss of the year, and now Ridgefield beats Yorktown.
Can you consider it a Yorktown win, though, even though the team lost by 3, since Colsey's the coach for Ridgefield? Is he the greatest player ever in Yorktown history?
Oh, now you're trying to start trouble.
Yeah, I'm just asking questions. On the Clark Report, I asked him that question. He wouldn't answer it.
Exactly. So I'm not going to answer it then either.
And after Dave Marr, the way he was getting after it during that game, I wasn't going to ask him after the game who's the best player.
I'm not one to say whether you... But if you're going to say top 3, whether he's 3-2-1, 1-2-3, I mean, he was an absolute beast, Roy Colsey, and a little game within the game there. He played at Yorktown, coaching Ridgefield now. Post that victory, he's gone back and forth. So it was an interesting night.
So 2 days later, Ridgefield would beat Danbury easily on senior day, and I guarantee you Colsey's attention right after that game was spent on Yorktown, because you know this, he wants Yorktown to win every game except when they play. Because 2 days later, they'd play the annual Murphy Cup, a game that Yorktown has dominated against their rival Lakeland Panis. They've now won 4 in a row, 22 of the last 25. Now let me ask you a question. It is the biggest game played in Section 1 every year. But if Lakeland Panis can't win it, is it a rivalry?
Yeah, because it's in the name of Charlie Murphy. And that's all you need to know.
If it wasn't in Charlie Murphy's name, is it a rivalry? Fair question.
Right, okay.
Lakeland Panis has got to start winning. Veracruz was in 8th grade the last time Lakeland Panis won it, which means the Big V has never lost to his arch rivals.
Yeah, and this game, interesting early. Yorktown leads 1-0 at this point. There's the Cortland bounder, Nicky Bonatadabas. Too much room for Nicky B, makes it 2-0. Kevin Prunty, great player for Siena. Good rush here by the pole, then off the rebound. It's 2-1 now. Watch Prunty steps into that one.
Where's he going, Siena?
Siena. And then, of course, Connor Veracruz.
Going to play for Mars' brother, Scotty.
Isn't it nice? Hey, big weekend for them, too. Isn't it nice to see the Huskers out running? And there's Veracruz there, off the fast break. It's now 3-1 Yorktown. Monotonibus with the goal. Score is now 4-1. Hey, the assist by Justin Cavallo. No relation, but we'll get a shameless plug in there for another great Cavallo. Score is now 4-2 Yorktown. Connor Veracruz again. Can't give him this kind of room in front. Makes it 5-2. Veracruz doing what Veracruz does. Off a little screen here. Listen, can't fault the D there. The guy's just got too much on that right hand. Makes it 6-2. Yorktown would now lead 10-7. Start of the quarter, fourth quarter, Luke Palmadesso. The Villanova, unassisted.
Would you call that the main line?
Yes, right down the main line. That's where Villanova is. Then it was 11-8 Yorktown. Mike Davukai backing his way in, turns and shoots, makes it 12-8. They go on to win it 12-10.
I like how you got Davukai's name right, because you're afraid of his mom.
Yes. Strange occurrence in this game, Mike. Jimmy Flaherty for Lakeland Panis puts in his 4th goal to make it 12-9 with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Pow! Lightning comes.
Crazy.
They stopped the game for an hour. If you read the write-ups, it meant something for Yorktown. They rested. They got their wits about them. And basically, Lakeland Panis didn't score again because the final goal they got in the game to get 10 happened 1 second on the clock. So that 1 hour layover there, and then to play a little 6-minute game hurt Lakeland Panis. But nevertheless, 4th in a row for Yorktown.
You know who was happy to see Lakeland Panis? Connor Veracruz, because he didn't have to look at that orange and white defense.
He got the golden sombrero for the Silver Cup. 4 wins.
You're right. And he got into his mojo 2 days after the Ridgefield game, because Ridgefield figured out a way to stop him. Lakeland Panis couldn't.
It's the Murphy Cup. It's always the biggest game of our regular season, and the tradition that's based around this game is just tremendous. And we're real happy that we won this game, and hopefully it's just great to bring it back.
Connor, what about the way your team is playing so far this season? You guys now are 10-3. What are your thoughts on how this club is playing and where you guys might be able to go?
We've been playing pretty well so far. And last week we had a tough loss at Ridgefield, but we learned a lot from it. And hopefully, we'll pick it up a little bit, and hopefully we can get it all done this year.
Well, their schedule's not easy. Here's who they've played the last 3 games. Here's who they have coming up. Host Darien Thursday night, go to St. Anthony's, and then Wilton, which is one of the great lacrosse rivalries. Wilton and Yorktown.
That's what they do.
That St. Anthony game, you guys and the crew, they'll all be out there doing it. You can see that live online. That's noon.
High noon.
On Saturday. Okay, we talked about Somers off the top. We're into this Somers team all of a sudden. Why? Because they got this win against John Jay during the week. So here we go, Jer.
Yeah, it was 3-2 Somers at this point, and then Mark Fiacco. He's going to wind up in Western New England. Good player, great day. Makes it 4-2 Somers. John Jay will get a goal by Ryan Lee. Ryan Lee had an unbelievable night. 7 points in the game. It's now 4-3 Somers. Game was tied at 4. Ryan Lee again. And John Jay has a lead against Somers. This is a big rivalry game. These schools not that far apart. Timmy Cousin, the Siena bounder, takes it all the way, ties it up at 5-all. Somers was up 1, 7-6. Mark Fiacco continues his big night, makes it 8-6 Somers. It will be 9-6 Somers. Excellent attack line. AJ Cartelli with the goal. That attack line of Cartelli, Sigelski, and DeVito have done a really good job for Coach Janove. You got Cousin, you got Fiacco, Joe Hashmal, the sophomore, really good. Corpalongo off the faceoffs. Good stuff all around for Lou Janove in his 6th year. And Genualdo, senior keeper, all section last year was the senior keeper. He's back, had a great year.
He's a great coach, but I can say this, no coach in the Tri-State has better hair than my man Lou.
They're a great team. They're well coached. They're usually in it at the end, and we know that going to the section, teams like this, Yorktown, Lakeland, Mayapack, our whole league, it's big wins when we win this game.
We feel like tonight was a complete game. Justin Corpalongo really got us started off with the faceoff X, won a lot of faceoffs for us, and we were playing offense for a great deal on the first half, so our defense was well rested. Our defense stepped up tonight, and they played huge.
Timmy's a terrific competitor. Terrific.
Yeah, he mentioned Corpalongo. Corpalongo committed to St. John's. Corpalongo had a big night.
Jim, here's Somers' schedule. When you look at their signature win, they now have one now against John Jay. Look at the 4 losses. The combined records, 40 and 14. So here we go. John Jay now against Iona Prep. We went on and on about this Iona Prep team, and John Jay will get the better of them.
Yeah, Vincent Foti here to Danny Skluth for the goal. 2-0 John Jay Cross River. And then Ryan Lee, we saw him how good he was. Little inside dumped it right here and makes it 3-0. Lee on the assist. After a scoreless second, John Jay Cross River leads 3-2 at this point. Ryan Lee rips a shot for a goal, makes it 4-2. Boudiera though, for Iona Prep, the guy can play. Shots from the side, makes it 4-3. Iona Prep's Brandon Standard scores, makes it 5-4. So here come the Gales. You know Coach Trezano's boys can do it. They move the ball well. Nicky Moldari. Great shot, but a great save by Looney. Looney was a huge factor.
Oh, you're spectacular.
Nicholas Kells then scores here. Nicky Kells, big goal, Nick Kells against Manhasset, makes it 6-4. And then look at this one. Corzelius, Jack Corzelius. A rip makes it 6-5. Watch this. What a way for a game to end. Final seconds. Iona Prep down 1. On the doorstep, kick, save, and a beauty. Ryan Looney puts a lid on Iona Prep. What a save to end the game.
I said I might put a face on a segment. Looney had to be great. He was, turns it away at the end. Who else you going to talk to? Rhino!
I mean, it feels great, honestly. Like, we know we're there. We know we're a good team. It kind of comes down to playing like it, Iona Prep, they're just an awesome team. They've been playing like that all year, so, props to them, but I think we came out strong and we deserve this win.
This was a huge game. I mean, to get a victory, it was definitely something that we needed coming off of 2 losses, but this feels really good. It's like a big weight off our shoulders right now, so.
I mean, it's awesome, we definitely want to keep it up. We're, close to playoffs, so obviously it's a huge time to have a big win. But it's not over. We've got a couple of huge games coming up still, and we just got to fight through it.
Terrific job, Rye. Way to go. Section 1, Class B now. So John Jay has snapped Iona Prep's 2-game win streak against them. So here you go. Yorktown, Somers, John Jay. That's going to be the 1, 2, 3 right there. Byram Hills, Brewster, Ossining. You think maybe Pearl River.
Pearl River's having a huge year on the Pirates, including a win over Suffern.
I think right now, the top 20, it's safe to say that Iona Prep is going to have their fingers crossed to see if they stay in the poll. About Ossining, though, how about that? They're going to finish the year, Ossining is. I think they're going to finish the year 14-2. And you just don't think of Ossining.
Congratulations, Slick Nick Mariano of Yorktown, freshman at UMass, CAA Rookie of the Year. Sorry, Janove, another Husker note.